So again, my name is Sampreeth, and this is the fifth class of Python. So if you haven't seen any of our classes, you can go to our YouTube channel and type in quarantine learning, and you can check out any of our past classes, right? And anything that you've missed or anything you don't understand, you can always review in our YouTube channel. Okay. So I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, so first let's do like a quick recap of what we did last class. So if you remember, we went over lists and we went over how to index lists. So if you remember, you give a variable name, assignment operator, and you give different elements in a list surrounded by square brackets. Then you can index lists with the number after you give the name, the square brackets, and number, right? So if you have a grocery list, Python list, then you can call it grocery list. You can give the index number, right? And if you remember, index numbers start from 0 for the computer. So it goes 0, 1, 2. So this would be pasta sauce, right? So, and then you could also index from the back using negative numbers. So if you use grocery list with the index -1, it would go from the back, so it'd take rice, right? We covered all of this in the previous classes. Yeah, and then we also went over some functions. List.append. You basically put the list name, you put the dot, and you put whatever operation you want to put. So append, and then you put whatever item that you want to add to your list. Append will add. List will remove whatever item you put in this box, or yeah, in these circular brackets. The clear will empty the entire list, and sort will sort the list, right? So do you guys remember all this? Or if you don't remember, you can check out our YouTube channel.
I forgot sorting.
Sorting. Okay, sorry. I'll just quickly show you again. So I'm taking last week's code where we just made this party item list.
I should see the sandwiches one.
Yeah, this one, right? So say you use sort, it'll automatically sort this list through alphabetical order, right? So A starts first.
I have a question. How do you like sort it? Say if you want to like don't want it to be sorted alphabetically, how do you do that?
Oh yeah, so that's actually a little bit more advanced. You have to use some more parameters inside this. I'll show you that in a later class. If you want, you can do some more research after this. But for now, the default will be alphabetical order for this list.
Okay.
Okay, so if you run this, or sorry. Right, so this is the way I arranged it. And now if you remember, A comes first, right? So if you run this after sorting it, then you'd actually get an alphabetical order. Okay? Oh, and what these hashtags are, they're these things called comments. You don't have to know anything about it, right? But what they do is anything on this line, Python will ignore, right? You put any code on this line, since anything I followed by this hashtag, Python will ignore. Okay? So say I don't want it to print, I can just put a hashtag. So anything over here will be commented. Commented meaning Python will not take it. Python will just ignore it. So say this is for like your reference. You can put like hashtag what the code will do, or like any help that you give to yourself, any notes that you make in the middle of your code. You can always use a hashtag. Okay?
Okay, I got.
Cool. Okay, so now these are the main 4 functions with lists that we learned. Okay. Today we are going to learn list slicing. That's the first thing on our agenda. So list slicing can basically, if you remember indexing, you can take a certain value out of the list. Remember, if you take print party items and you give an index value. So say like index value 2, right? 0, 1, 2 sandwiches, right?
Isn't that the same as remove? Rick removes sandwiches.
No, what this would do would just print whatever is at this index position.
Alright.
Oh, are you talking about slicing or this?
I was talking about like the difference between slicing and remove.
Oh, okay. I haven't gotten to slicing yet. I'm just covering indexing.
Alright.
Okay, so this is just an example again for anyone who forgot how to index. So it print sandwiches, right? So party items, and you put the list name, and then you put the index value. Now for slicing, you can basically put a certain range of index values, right? So say I'll make a new variable, and I'll call it party underscore drinks, right? So now this party underscore drinks, I want it to contain a list of all of the drinks. So soda, orange juice, apple juice. Okay? How do I do that without actually manually, taking square brackets, writing one by one, soda, blah, 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 right? So the way to do this is you actually take party items, right? You write this down, party underscore items, and then you use the index. So basically what this party items will take is your index value that it starts from and what it ends from. So say we want these three values. Okay, we start from the index value. What index value is soda? Anybody?
It can be from the back or the front.
From the front, from the front.
It can be 4.
Yeah, 0, 1,
1,
2,
2, 3,
3,
4.
4. Perfect. So 4. Okay, now to take a range of values, you use a colon. Okay, so if we were just do 4, it would only take soda, right? Now, if you want a range of values, you can do 4 all the way to apple juice. Now, what is apple juice? What index value?
Number 6.
4, 5, 6. Perfect. Okay.
Can we not write like party drinks, which is equal to party items 4, 5, 6? Will that work? Or it won't?
No, it won't work. It won't work. You have to take a range. This is actually easier. You kind of most of the time you want to optimize your code, make it as small as you can. So for this, all you have to do is give the value that you want. So now if you give 6, what Python does is it will include the 4th value, but it will disclude the 6th value. Meaning it'll go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, soda. Now it'll go 4, 5, and it'll disclude the 6th value. It's a little bit annoying to work with, but that's how Python works. The 6th value gets discluded. So if you want to put all of these 3, you're gonna have to put 7, right? Does that make sense? So
Yeah,
it'll take everything before 7 and it'll include 4. So it'll take 4, 5, 6. Okay? And now if we print party underscore drinks. Okay. Okay, you see that? It printed the drinks. Soda, orange juice, apple juice. Okay?
Okay.
Everyone got it? Anyone have any questions? Syntax or anything?
Like classifying the party drinks from the party items?
Exactly. We're making a variable which is going to take a certain portion of the other list.
Yeah, I have a question. 4 to 7, there was a ratio because I mean the ratio means since there were like 4 of those and the total was 7. What if the things are rearranged? What are the drinks?
So Python doesn't take this as a ratio, it takes this as a range. So it starts from 4 and it goes till 7.
Yeah,
so it's not a ratio. It takes all the values between 4 and 7. Starts with 4, 5, 6, and discludes 7. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. Say now I want to make party underscore food. Okay. What index values would I have to take for this? So I want everything I want chips, pizza, sandwiches, and noodles. Anyone want to try?
Is it 0 is to 3?
0 is to 0, 1, 2, 3. So if you remember the last, you include the first index value.
0 is to 4.
Exactly. Perfect. You disclude the second. You disclude the final one. So go 0, 1, 2, 3, right? And then you can print party food.
I didn't understand, why did you keep 4 instead of 3?
3. Do you remember, so I want for this one. You're talking about this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if I told you, if you have two, you have the starting place and the ending place, okay? So
Okay.
Python will include the starting place and it will disclude the ending place. So say for this one, it'll include 0 and will disclude 4. So it'll go 0, 1, 2, 3, and will disclude 4. Okay? So
Okay.
it'll only take 0, 1, 2, 3.
I have a
Okay.
question.
Yeah, what's up?
What if you put you put 1 for the first one and you put 0 for the other one?
You put 1 and
For
then
that
you put 0. Let's try it out. Right. So, I mean, that's not possible, right? Because you're going backwards. Python doesn't take that as a possible thing. So it just outputs nothing,
Okay.
right? You can experiment a little. There are a lot of fun things to see what will work, what won't work. That's a good question. Okay, so another easy way to think about this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So another easy way to think about this is you can minus this number by this number. So 7 minus 4 is 3. So that means only 3 elements will be taken.
But
Soda, orange juice, apple juice.
what?
Huh?
This is an art class or what?
This is the Python class. Right, okay, so another easy way to think about it is subtracting this second number by this first number. So 7 minus 4, which means 3. Only 3 elements. Remember, you get soda, orange juice, and apple juice, right? And if you do this, you get 4 minus 0. That means only 4 elements will be taken. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So if you're on party food, chips, pizza, sandwiches, noodles. Okay? Everyone following? Okay,
Yeah.
great. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys can experiment with this a little bit later. You can do it as homework or something. But yeah, for now this is just the basic syntax and how it works. Okay? So I'll move on to the next topic in that case. So next I'm gonna go over loops. Okay, so anyone have any clue on what loops are?
Are those the ones which have like conditions?
Yeah, so not exactly, not perfect.
Are they used like for comparison or something?
No, they're not. Sasha, do you want to try?
I mean, are they like useful like if something is something, then
Like,
print this?
Is it used for if you use a letter instead of a number and you write what the number is to the letter and then you do something with the letter and the number will come?
Not exactly. So what loops are is it can repetitively perform tasks. So there are different types of loops. There's while and for. Okay, so first we're gonna go over while. So while a loop can basically repetitively do a certain task until a certain condition is satisfied or not satisfied, right? That's up to you. So say for a while loop, you have while. Okay, so first we initialize I is equal to 1. I is just a normal variable and a normal integer, right? So 1. So now you do y while I is less than 6. Now is I less than 6? It is, right? Exactly. So then it'll go over here and it'll print I, okay? Or whatever, do whatever you want over there. So this is not necessary. And then it increases. What is I is equal to I plus 1 do? Anyone have any idea? Take a second. What would I is equal to I plus 1 do?
It's like an equation or something.
It would actually, so I is 1 right now. I is equal to 1 plus 1. So I will become 2. So if you saw over here, I was 1. Over here, I I will be equal to 1 plus 1. So I will become 2. You're basically incrementing it.
So then basically it's y. So 2 is less than 6. That's what.
Exactly. So now it'll loop back because it's a loop, right? It'll loop back to the while statement. And it'll check again. Is 2 less than 6? Is that true? Yes, it is. So it'll come over here. It'll print whatever. And now it'll say I is equal to, what's the current value of I? 2.
1. Okay, 2. Yeah.
2. Now it's 2. So 2 plus 1, 3. Now it'll check again. And it'll run this again. It'll check again and again. Until I is equal to 5 plus 1. Which in that case, I will be equal to 6. And then it'll loop back here. And it'll check, is 6 less than 6? That's false. So it'll break out of the loop. Cool?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up?
Well, if you think about it in this way, if I equals to 1, and if I equals to I plus 1, shouldn't this I be 0?
What do you mean? Can you repeat your question?
Like if it keeps on looping, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what does the false command do? Like, well, say false, it cannot go.
So basically, it'll check if this is true. If this is true, then only these two conditions will be fine.
So like it's always going to be the highest possible value that I can have with the conditions. Right?
That depends on you. Over here, I put a less operator. So sometimes you can loop through some stuff and see if it's equal to something.
Or
Right?
or lowest, or like depending on what you put. It has
Depending
to
on what you put. Depending on what condition you put.
be. Okay.
Cool. Okay, I'll show you how this would work in a more real example. Okay, so let's just run the same code. I'll give you an example. Y is equal to 1, while I is less than 6, and I is equal to I plus 1. Okay, so again, what do you think is gonna happen? What will become printed? What will output?
It's going to be, I guess, 2 is less than 6.
Okay, but what will be printed?
The value.
Okay, so let's break this down. Okay, first I'll run it and then I'll break it down step by step. Okay, so it actually printed, it looped through all the numbers. Okay, so let me explain to you how this works. So first you're starting with I is equal to 1. Okay, 1's our counter.
Okay.
1. So now while 1 is less than 6, that's true. So it'll come to this condition. Okay, what do you want it to do when it's true? It wants you to print I. Therefore, 1 will be printed. Okay?
I have another question.
Yeah, what's up?
Like when it keeps on looping, will it be I, the number I, or will it, sorry, the letter I equals to 1, or will it be 1 always?
It will actually be I is equal to 1.
Okay, so then if it's I is equal to 2, then like when it, and if it's less than 6, will it keep on looping until it reaches?
So exactly. So that's the thing. So okay, I'll keep going. So it'll print I. What's in I? 1 currently. Now it'll increase I. I is equal to I plus 1. So I will become 2. Okay?
And
Then this will go back to the loop, and it'll be 2 if 2 is less than 6. Well, 2 is less than 6. It'll come and print 2. Right?
One more doubt. Can it go in decimal points, or does it, or is it like when it's,
yeah, you can put decimal points if you want to.
yeah, like, well, like if it's 6, sorry, if it's less than 6, like you're in your example, but I is equal to 2, will it stop at 4, or will it go like something point something point?
It'll go to 5. Oh no, it'll actually go to 5 because you're adding 1 at a time, right?
So it's only 1. It cannot be 2 at a time, 3 at a time.
You can put I is equal to I plus 2.
Yeah.
That will actually make it 2 at a time. So it'll print 2 for 1. Yeah, basically. It'll print 1, 3, 5. Okay, here let me keep going with this example. So I is equal to 1. This will increment I. This will make I from 1 to 2. So while 2 is less than 6, it'll print 2. And now it'll increase 2 to 3. So while 3 is less than 6, you print 3, right? Because I is equal to 3. So step by step. Okay, making sense to everybody? So it'll print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I will become 6, and I'll check is 6 less than 6? That's false. It'll break out. So that's how it
I
printed.
have a doubt.
Yeah.
So you said I is equal to I plus 1. If it's 5 plus 1, if we keep 5 plus 1, how is it less than 6?
So what is 5 plus 1? It's 6, right?
Yeah.
Now it'll
And
check.
now we loop it, and then so it will
Okay.
say 6 is less than 6. How can that be?
Would that be
It's
a false?
huh?
Will that be a false?
It'll be a false. Exactly. Because 6 is less than 6, that's false. So the
Yeah.
program stops. Everything stops. That's why if you see here, 6 did not get printed. Only 5 got printed. Because it saw when I is equal to 5, 5 is less than 6, so it will print 5.
Okay.
And then when I is equal to 6, 6 is not less than 6.
So
it will
basically,
break.
according to the equation, it's printing the numbers that are less than 6.
Exactly. Because that's a comparison. So let's take Sasha's example. I plus 2. What do you think is going to print?
I think it's gonna print 3.
Okay.
3 and
1, 2,
5.
3.
No, it's 3 and 5.
3 and 5.
5. Okay, so actually it starts with I is equal to 1. So
So it's
as
going to
soon
be
as it
1,
enters
3,
this,
5.
1, 3, 5. Test it out. Perfect. Okay. Make sense?
Yes.
So if it's I plus 3, then
Okay, we can test it out. What do you think?
It's gonna be 1,
1 and then
1 and 4.
1 and I don't know.
1 and 4.
Yeah, 1 and 4. Because it'll start with 1, it'll add 3, so it'll become 1, it'll print 1. And then it'll add 3 to it, so it'll become 4, and it'll print 4. Now it'll add 3 to it again, and it'll become 7.
So it'll be
Now
false.
is 7, it'll be false, exactly. Is 7 less than 6? No. So it will break out of the loop.
Can you put I as 7?
You can try, but it just won't enter the loop, right? Here, we can try. See? It won't enter the loop at all.
Okay.
Okay, makes sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me give you a slightly better example. Okay, let me make a nice code. So put y is equal to 1. So this is going to be a little bit more complicated, but if you can guess this, then you're really making some progress. So if while I is less than 5, let me just write down the code and then I can see, you guys can see if you can understand it. Okay, we'll make a list. School. Okay, so then we can do item. Okay, so basically, does anyone understand what's going on here?
I do.
Right now, yeah, I get it. I mean,
Sort of.
Mm-hmm. So anyone want to explain it? Anyone want to take a guess?
Can I?
Yeah, good.
Okay, so school list, it's nothing. So
Mhm.
while, okay, it's
Right.
sort of confusing, but the school list part.
Huh?
Can
Yeah.
I try?
Yeah, go ahead. You can.
So so basically I is equal to 1, and then school list is there's nothing in it. So you append which you want to add an item. So it's basically 1, and then you said I is equal to 1 plus 1. So it will become 2.
Okay. Yeah, close.
I think it's that you can keep on adding the items until it reaches 5.
Perfect. That's perfectly right. So let me show you. Good job. Let me show you exactly what it is. So I is starting with the value 1. Okay? And I basically made a list and put nothing inside of it. Okay? So what's happening is it'll go through this while loop while 1 is less than 6. Is 1 less than 6? That is true. So it'll move to whatever is inside this code. Okay? So whatever is inside this code is I'm making a new variable item. And do you guys remember the input statement?
Yeah.
Yes.
So the input will actually take in a value, right? So it'll take in the value and store it in the variable item, right? So if I put item is equal to input, enter a school item to the list, right? So they'll enter, say, pencil. What I want to do is I want to add it to the school list. So what to do, the way to do that is the dot append, if you guys remember. Okay? So you basically are adding something to this school list, adding whatever they enter. And now I increment this I value by 1. So this I value will become 2. Then it'll loop back to this while loop. It'll say while 2 is less than 6, which is true, right? And then it'll check again, input a new item. And then it'll again add that new item to your school list. Okay? And then it'll again increment. It'll keep doing this until I is equal to 6. Because when 6 is less than 6, that's false. So it'll break out of all of this and it'll print your list.
Can you
Okay.
show us an example?
Yeah,
Yeah, can you share another example?
sure. Enter a school item to add to the list, say pencil. Okay, and then now it's asking again, pen. Scale. So it should ask me 5 times if everything is working correctly, right? Say like blue, color. Okay, it worked well. So it asked me for values. I inputted the values and one by one, it added it to the school list. Okay, perfect. Makes sense for everybody?
Yeah, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of going to the program, is there a way that you can increase the school list in this?
And this, oh, you asked me this actually. Yeah, it should be possible. You're gonna have to do school list dot append, and then you can enter like, what do you want to enter? Like,
5?
sure, a bike. Why not? Okay, and then we can call print again. Right? So you can do it from here. But usually you'd want to do all of your stuff over here. Okay? So everyone clear? Everyone makes sense? Okay, so let's see how much time we have. Yeah, okay, we still have some time. So do you guys want to try this out, or do you want me to move to my next program and then you guys can try this out? What do you guys think?
And you can like
Next
if
program?
you wish.
No, can we please try it out?
You guys want to try it out?
Sure. I'm okay with anything.
I'm fine.
Okay.
I want to try it out.
Yeah, okay, let's try it out then. You guys can take like a practice. Fine, so make a list called grocery list. And you want to add 5 items to this list. 5 items based on what the user gives you.
And do we have to write what I is equal to?
Yeah, you do. Because that's the only way you can use a while loop.
Can you
Because-
keep your share screen? Because I
Sure.
need to have a look.
Sure. Okay, yeah, good.
Yeah.
I'll give you guys a minute. Try your best to do it without the screen. If you are getting any syntax errors or something, you can ask me. But yeah, you're always free to look at the screen too. Everyone's clear though, right? No one has any questions? Everyone understands everything?
Oh yeah.
Great, great.
Should we add it before? Should we add it now itself or after we run the module?
Do all of this first and then run the module.
Okay.
Okay.
I had a question.
Mm-hmm.
When I run this, first it comes like there are 5 sentences, right, for the list.
Yeah.
So it's coming more than 8, I think so.
Oh, do you want to share your screen?
I cannot share my screen.
Oh, can you copy the code and put it in the chat box? I can take a look at it.
No, actually, I'm working from in my laptop, but
Oh, right, you told me. Okay, so can you repeat your problem then? I'll try to figure it out.
when I press run, so there are 5 list sentences, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's coming more than 6 or 8. I just press enter, then it's just long.
I see. Okay, do you think you can send me your code to my email or something after class?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Do you know my email? Here,
I'm not
let's put it
sure.
in the. I'll put it in the chat box.
Sir, I can't see the program.
Can you see it?
Sir, a bit of it's showing because you zoomed it a bit there.
Oh, really? Okay. Is it working now?
Not really.
Showing for me completely.
Okay. So
Wait,
some
now I
parts.
see it. Thanks. Sorry, now I
I
see
go.
it.
No problem. So don't worry if this is confusing. Loops were always confusing to me in the beginning as well, but it's one of the most used code in Python or any programming language that you use for backend. So you just practice it. I can give you guys another assignment maybe.
I'm done with the thing, the writing everything, so I can share my screen
Oh yeah,
on
sure.
and then run the module.
Okay, try it. Go ahead.
Okay.
Share your screen.
So
Or 1 second.
okay, can you see it?
Let me see.
Can you see my screen?
Okay. Hold up. Okay, yeah, I can see it. Okay.
Should I run the module?
Okay, you can run it, but there are a few errors, but Python will tell you. We can see if we can use them one by one. Okay.
Okay.
So first thing, you got an invalid syntax. What does that mean? You forgot something that Python identifies. So once you put the condition, you have to follow it up by a colon.
Okay, colon.
Okay. A colon, not a
One
semicolon.
second.
Yeah. There you go. Okay. Try it out again. There are some more errors, but Python will tell you. Indent. So do you know what an indent is?
No.
It's basically some extra space. Okay, so under the while loop, you need that extra space. So Python understands what is part of the while loop and what isn't. So
Okay, so
do you see the tab key on your computer?
tab key on my computer. Yeah.
Okay, so now go to before item, put your cursor just before item.
Here.
Not that one.
This one.
Yeah, put it before in the yeah, over there. Now click tab.
What? Tab.
Click
Okay.
the tab. Okay,
Okay.
now do the same for grocery list.
Yeah.
Sir, we didn't add the grocery list items.
You're not supposed to, you're supposed to ask the user for them.
Okay.
Yeah, I tried that and it says like enter an item. It just says that all the time.
Then enter one. Type it in.
Actually, I
Okay.
had the same mistake. I got it now.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so Ditya, you actually have to indent the other grocery list append item, that thingy. So, okay, put your tab, click the tab key. Yeah. So what part of this is in your while loop? Can you tell me? What part of it is inside the loop?
So I'm supposed to write s is equal to s plus 1.
Plus one, okay. But okay,
So-
first we'll go over this. What part of this is actually inside your while loop? What part of the code that you read?
So the value 1.
So that's actually above your while loop. It's not inside your while loop. Everything inside your while loop is under the while command. So this item is equal to input, enter an item, grocery list dot append item. All of this will keep on getting looped, right?
Okay.
So therefore, all of this stuff inside the while loop will have to be indented. Okay,
Okay.
so even that one.
Even
Yeah.
this one?
Yeah, even that one. Okay, and you see the one you put on top, the grocery list?
Yeah.
Yeah, get rid of that. That's unnecessary. Okay, so you remember a way to initialize a loop or a list is by
One
putting
second,
the
I'll just
variable.
add s is equal
Oh yeah,
to s
go ahead.
plus 1.
Do that.
Should I leave a space after that?
Yeah, put on the next line.
Okay. So, one second. So, s is equal to s
I got it. I'm done.
plus
Okay, sure. Aditya, you
1.
can work on this and then I'll come back to
Yeah.
you. Okay.
1 second. Stop share.
Okay, who else said they were done?
I'm done with it.
Can you share your screen?
I just told you I cannot.
Oh, you cannot. Okay, right. No worries. Fine. Send me the code then to the email.
You might be able to send it on Gmail.
Yeah, send it through the Gmail.
Actually,
Even
have you sent it in the chat? Actually,
you can send it in the chat as well if you want. Yeah, the email is on the chat. Yeah, my bad.
it's not there.
Okay, sorry.
It's not working for me.
Yeah, 1 second.
Can I screen share?
Yeah, share your screen. Anyone else who doesn't have it working and can't screen share, you can send it to the email. It's in the chat box. You see it, right?
So this is what I did.
Okay. Okay, I is equal to 1. Grocery is perfect. While I is less than 6, item is equal to input. So input, whatever you put inside of your input has to be surrounded by circular brackets.
Okay.
Okay. Grocery list dot append item. Okay, and print. Print also has to have circular brackets. It's a little bit confusing, but yeah. Okay, so let's see. You actually forgot to increment. You forgot to increase the value I. What's gonna happen is I is gonna keep on running. It's gonna say when I is equal to 1, 1 is less than 6, it'll run this. And then again, it'll loop back and it'll say 1 is less than 6, it'll run this. again, they'll come back and say one is a statistic, and it'll break your computer. So you have to be careful. You have to remember to increment.
So I equals to
Got to 1. Perfect. Okay, and now your print grocery list is not supposed to be in the while loop. It's supposed to be off of the while loop, right?
yes.
So the indent between that and the beginning shouldn't be there.
Like this?
Yeah, so it's basically going like steps. While everything inside the while loop is in an indent. Everything not inside the while loop is back at the first spot, right?
Okay.
So test it out, see if it works.
Can I just show you my screen?
Yeah, sure. We'll let him test it out. Oh yeah, okay. Sasha, is it working?
Yes, it is.
Cool.
Can you just see?
Let me see. I can't see it properly. Oh yeah. Oh, perfect. It worked, right?
Yeah, it worked.
Nice. Good job.
Thank
That's
you.
great.
Thank you.
You guys have bright futures. Okay. Sasha, it is working for you?
I got it. It came for me.
You got it too?
For me.
Okay, so it's working for everybody?
Yeah.
Okay, so we can cover, actually I don't think we have any time. It's already 4:45. Okay, don't worry. Next
Yes,
class
that's
I can,
Can we just get some homework or something like this, some other
Okay.
topic?
I'll give you a similar question. Let me think. Maybe we can do, okay, how about you enter people's ages, okay? And you test if they're greater than 16. If they're greater than 16, you can print. You can
16
drink.
or 60?
16.
Okay.
Or actually do 18 if you're greater than 18. Then you can print. You can drink. Okay. And do that with 5 different values. 5 different people taken 5 different ages, and test it out with if it's greater than 18, and then test you can drink or you cannot drink.
Okay.
Okay, and remember you can use an if statement or an else statement in a loop as well. So that's going to be a small project for you guys. You can learn how to use if and else statements inside of a while loop.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
great. So if anyone finishes it, they can send it to me on Gmail.
Yeah, send it to you on
Yeah.
Gmail, sir.
Okay, perfect. I'll just check it out. You can send it to me on Gmail, or you can show it to me next class. Anything, whatever you guys wish.
Okay.
Okay, great. Who sent it to me on
Me, Arjun.
Arjun? Okay, I'll take a look at it and I'll email you back.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, great. So also one more thing I wanted to ask you about was, can you talk with your parents? So we're actually collecting donations for, we're gonna send them to the PMNRF, which is like the Prime Minister's charity fund. So if you're like enjoying my classes and you want to like give back to those who need it, check out our donation page, and talk with your parents about it. You don't have to make any decisions or anything like that.
Yeah, sure.
And ask your parents if they would like to donate to those in need. We're actually collecting donations as a part of this initiative. I'll put the
Actually,
link in the chat box. You guys can check it out.
Yeah.
Actually, I've already done it.
Oh, you've
Yeah,
done?
Like
Okay,
to
great.
other apps, I mean
Yeah.
other people. So we've gone already and given.
Even
Actually,
we've done it. Yeah, even we've
Still, I'm
already
talking to
done
my
it.
parents about it.
Okay,
Even
that's
we've done
great.
it.
Yeah, I know Ashwin
Yeah.
and Arnav, I've seen yours.
I have also done it.
Great. Okay, then yeah, that's amazing. Great. Okay. Anyone who hasn't, you can talk with your mom. There's no, we're not like forcing you or anything. Just it's up to you.
Okay.
Okay. Great. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. You guys
Thank
are great
you.
audience.
Have a
Bye.
good
Okay. See you. Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Bye.